Good morning, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us for KVUE News Midday. I'm Jenny Lee. All right now it is 11 o'clock, and we've got team coverage on this icy weather conditions currently hitting Central Texas. You can see right there, KVUE's Dominic Newland, Eric Pointer, meteorologist Grace Thornton are in various spots around Central Texas with a look at our road conditions. Hannah Rucker is covering the traffic and crashes on area roads, and meteorologist Shane Hinton is tracking the forecast. And Shane, conditions are getting worse out there. In fact, Round Rock ISD and Lockhart ISD have already canceled classes and activities for tomorrow.
And that's understandable why they would do that, Jenny, because we are going to be tracking multiple rounds of rain moving through Central Texas as we make our way throughout the day today. Really, tonight into tomorrow is the time frame that I'm most concerned about. Take a live look from some of our cameras. This is up in Round Rock at our Kalahari Resort camera. You can see completely iced over. Similar conditions on our downtown Austin camera dealing with ice this morning. In fact, that's just been the story the entire day long. As we take a look at the radar and our current temperatures, we're talking upper 20s and even mid-20s still in portions of the hill country. I feel like they've been sitting in the 20s for almost a day now. We're talking 29 in Burnett and Marble Falls, 30 though as you make your way to Buchanan Dam. Along the I-35 corridor, we're also seeing some light activity in regards to freezing rain, maybe even in the form of drizzle is how light it is in nature. 20s to lower 30s across the board, still below freezing in Austin. Along the I-35 corridor, we are just above a light freeze at Lake Fayette, but at freezing in LaGrange and Muldoon, 31 in Lockhart and in Cedar Creek. Now, in regards to the radar, you're going to expect this to maybe see a slight lull over the early afternoon hours and into the early evening, but then we expect it to increase. Now, this is all due to the fact that we have this moisture streaming in. An upper level trough is going to be pushing in from the west and will continue to bring the potential for some scattered to widespread freezing rain. In regards to our storm reports, you can see just how much of the activity has really been claimed around the Travis County region. That's just due to a lot of reports being issued out on the roads. Do want to kind of focus over here in Gillespie County, just because we do have some power lines that were down just north of Fredericksburg due to ice earlier this morning. Also reports of ice obviously accumulating on trees, branches, and fence lines in addition to vehicles. That winter storm warning is going to be in effect all the way until 6 o'clock Thursday morning. I'll have a detailed look at what you can expect, including those ice accumulation totals in just a couple of minutes. But I know, Hannah, you have been keeping a very close eye on those slippery roadways.
Absolutely. What a morning, my friend. Good morning to you guys. Central Texas, we are taking a live look. We have seen a wide range of things happening today. Our main focus is still going to be on these overpasses and these bridges. Right now, we're taking a live look at 290 heading west on that upper deck there. You can see there's kind of a police crew that's out there responding to a crash. Take a look right now across the viewing area. Our crash count currently at 16. That number has been fluctuating throughout the day. Taking a look at our southern portion here, right out of edge of Hays County, heading into exit 223A. We've got that 45 toll road still closed, heading over into Creedmoor. This crash was significant today from that 130 toll road. Several people taken to the hospital because of it. Heading up a little bit further north, we've got the 290 toll road. Manor, I'm talking to you. You guys have had all kinds of issues today. That portion is also blocked. So it's impossible to get through them all. Can't stress it enough. Do not drive unless you absolutely have to, Jenny.
Thanks, Hannah. Thank you so much. Wanted to pass along that 3,200 Pedernales utility customers are without power in the Cedar Park Leander area at this point. So weather affecting everybody, a lot of people, as we know. Well, earlier we told you we have crews all over Central Texas monitoring our weather conditions. First up, KVUE meteorologist Grace Thornton is live in the KVUE storm chase. And Grace, what are you seeing? Where are you?
Hey Jenny, so we are traveling west on 290 right now. We've sort of come up on yet another crash, and here's a look at our dash camera. We have probably like a rental truck that is stranded in the middle of the median right now, and then just up ahead are also there are some police officers trying to navigate the rest of the traffic flow through the right lane here. It looks like people need to be going very, very slow. That's kind of the situation that we've been seeing a lot for today is, you know, they'll see the crash, first responders will respond, and then we'll try and resalt the roads, rebrine the roads, and get those traffic crashes cleared, and then things will be kind of back to normal until something else happens. So it really is touch and go, and slow is the name of the game today.
That is good advice, as Hannah just said, and as Grace Thornton just said. Please, if you have to be on the roadways today, use caution and drive slowly. All right, we all remember that the power grid was a main concern as it failed during the winter storm in February of 2021. Here is a look at the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, or ERCOT's dashboard. And right now, this dashboard is telling us there is enough power to meet the current demand. Well, the Hill Country is also being affected by our winter weather blast. KVUE's Eric Pointer is live in Marble Falls. And Eric, what are you seeing in the Hill Country right now?
So right now we're seeing definitely some water on the roadways. We are along 281 here, and this bridge is overlooking Lake Marble Falls. And so we've seen cars kind of going, sometimes they'll slow down, but sometimes they won't. So you definitely want to be sure to slow down over bridges like this one. But all morning long, we have been all across Hill Country area, and we've seen TxDOT vehicles out treating the road. So we know that's being done. We saw one happen. This happened on FM 1341. We were out there early in Kingsland, and so we saw a TxDOT truck treating the road out there. But then also when we were out there, we looked over the LBJ overpass, or overlook, that where you can see all of the water and everything. That overpass where we stood was very slippery. So we know that these wet spots out here are freezing over. That was a very, very, very slick little concrete area. So that's something that we know, okay, so areas are freezing over. That's something people need to be aware of and monitoring for. Where we are here along 281 is not freezing over, but again, we've been all across Hill Country area. We've seen freezing, so people need to be aware of that. And so if you can, you want to be sure to be careful on those roads, and also, again, be careful on those sidewalks. I'll send it right back to you in studio.
Eric, the only good news I see is that there's not a lot of traffic behind you at that point, and let's hope that keeps up. All right, Eric Pointer reporting live for us in Marble Falls. Now remember, you can keep track of the weather and receive alerts on your phone through the KVUE News app. Just download it for free and stick with KVUE on air and online for the latest updates.
Being weather aware here in Central Texas means you know what's going on when severe weather is about to happen.
We always want you to be prepared when a storm is going to hit, at what time.
We really want to connect with you, and we want to let you know this is how this specific storm is going to impact where you live. This is how it's going to impact your neighborhood.
So when we're talking about being weather aware, we also mean in the long range view of things as well, climate science. And we want to make sure that you're going to stay informed.
We want you to be weather aware because we care about you and we care about your community.
Thomas J. Henry. The name you know, the firm you trust.
Migraine hits hard, so you hit back with Ubrelvy. You put it all on the line. One dose of Ubrelvy quickly stops migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
I won't advertise that you'll get loans just to get you to call. I will be your lawyer on a contingency basis. If you don't get paid, I don't get paid. I won't rely on gimmicks and tricks to get your business. I will earn your business by personally speaking with you about your case. Do the research. We are Funk & Associates. When tough times call for a tough lawyer, call 472-FUNK. That's right, 472-FUNK.
Time is one of the most important things to people, and that's why we come with a fully stocked vehicle to do the repair for you the same day. If you need any help, Precision Garage Door is here for you.
Precision Garage Door. Garage doors done right.
Oh, it's cold outside. Time to protect your vehicle from winter's wrath. Of course, the hot sun can be tough on vehicles too. You need WeatherTech all year round. Come on, protect your investment. Laser measured floor liners and cargo liner will shield the carpeting from sand and snow. For your interior, there's seat protector and sunshade, plus mud flaps and bump step for the exterior. Order American made products at WeatherTech.com. Surf's up. Yeah, right.
Call today. Thomas J. Henry is available 24/7, nights and weekends.
Welcome back to KVUE News, the 11:09, and we have some breaking news to pass along. A deputy was hurt in a pileup crash in southeast Travis County this morning. It happened on State Highway 130, that is near Pierce Lane. This crash, we're told, involved multiple 18-wheelers. A Department of Public Safety spokesperson says emergency crews pulled a Travis County deputy from a cruiser and rushed that deputy to the hospital. Drivers should avoid that area of State Highway 130. Well, it has been a busy past several hours for firefighters and medics. According to the Austin Fire Department, they have responded to more than 90 accidents since midnight. That's including 3 crashes involving AFD units. Around 7 this morning, a 10-vehicle pileup on the south first ramp at Ben White killed 1 person. Another reminder that if you must drive today, slow down, increase following distance, do not slam on your brakes, and if your car starts to slide, steer in that direction. TxDOT, along with other agencies, are encouraging everyone to avoid driving today. Crews are out treating the roadways, but more precipitation is expected today and tomorrow. Joining us now to discuss this, Bradley Wheelis with TxDOT. Bradley, good morning.
Good morning.
And can you give us an update of how many crews are treating what roadways at this point?
Yeah, our crews are concentrated on the major roadways. Those are the most heavily traveled in the area. So think I-35, 71, SH-130, US 290, 183. Out when you get into the more rural areas, SH-29 comes to mind. But our crews are on shifts working 24 hours a day to make sure we get through this storm. But as you say, we have more precipitation that's falling, temperatures at freezing or below. The weather's going to get worse before it gets better, so we have a tough job ahead of us. We're asking people to stay off the roadways unless you absolutely must travel. Most of the pre-treatments worked for the most part, and so folks got out on the roadways and said, this seems dry. And then you hit one of those icy patches and everything turns, right? Your world turns upside down. You spin out or you crash into another vehicle. And in some cases, as you mentioned earlier, multi-vehicle crashes. So if you must be out there driving, slow down, drive to those conditions, leave plenty of room between your vehicle and the vehicle in front of you. But the best advice and the way to stay safe is to stay put.
Bradley, what are crews seeing out there? You mentioned icy patches. What else?
Yeah, so primarily it's icy patches on the roadway, but as we see more precipitation fall throughout the day, we're going to see more of that ice build. We are out there laying down a granular material. We're also laying down brine. Again, we're throwing everything except the kitchen sink out at this storm to try to get ahead of it. But Mother Nature is strong, and it's tough to keep up with the precipitation and those freezing temperatures, and that's why we're asking people to stay off the roads. Our goal is to make the roadways passable for those first responders. Passable does not mean perfect, and so the roadways are not going to be clear like you're used to seeing on an average day.
Bradley Wheelis with TxDOT giving us some warning. We thank you for your time and thank your crews for us as well. Again, Bradley Wheelis saying they're working 24-hour shifts and doing what is needed. Bradley, have a good morning. All right, speaking of the roadways, let's check in with one of our crews. KVUE's Dominique Newland is live in North Austin near Mopac. And Dominique, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, hey there, Jenny. We are just right off of North Mopac. This area has been a problem spot for a lot of drivers. We have noticed a majority throughout the morning, even just about an hour ago, North Mopac being closed off in some areas due to accidents that have just come about from these roadways being so unbelievably icy. And even if you're going just past me off Research Boulevard, going to these overpasses, as we know, those elevated areas, that's what tends to freeze first. But so far, what we've seen off of North Mopac is those icy conditions. Not too long ago, we actually even saw a 3-car accident happen just in front of us because of just how icy the roads are. But I do want to show you, if you have some plans on traveling northbound on this way, just be cautious. You know, leave enough space between you and the car in front of you. We've been reiterating this all morning, but if you do not have to be out on these roads, I advise you not to. Just being out here firsthand, seeing how dangerous it is, how easy it is to kind of just glide, because it's black ice essentially. You're not seeing the ice on these roads due to the pavement, so just be careful out there. But so far, far as traffic, not a whole lot of people out here. Luckily, a lot of folks staying home, but we'll be sure to monitor it throughout midday and keep you updated. Back to you, Jenny.
That is the good news, Dominic and Newly. Not a lot of traffic, but according to AFD, more than 90 accidents. Crews have worked since midnight, so still be careful out there if you have to be out there. And also text the word freeze to 512-459-9442, and we will send you a link to the forecast and more helpful tips for dealing with this winter weather. Remember to text. Calling will not work. We'll be right back. 11:18 is your time on this chilly Tuesday morning, and this weather is affecting flights at the Austin airport. According to FlightAware, more than 240 flights have been canceled at the Austin airport. That number will likely continue to grow, but that's why it's important you make sure to monitor FlightAware before you head out to the airport. All right, a couple of more closures to tell you about. Elgin ISD, Manor ISD, Luling ISD, and Dale Valley ISD have all contacted us to tell us they have closed school and activities tomorrow. Shane Hinton joins us now, and this just goes to show just how serious this weather condition is right now.
Absolutely. So this is a multi-day event that we're dealing with here, okay? So many people, if they're going out on the roads and they're like, you know what, that was a piece of cake, or, you know, maybe just a little bit of extra time I needed to factor in. Unfortunately, the worst is still yet to come for us here. Let's take a quick look at the current radar across the area. We'll begin in the hill country, where I think our heaviest ice accumulations will be when all is said and done over the next few days. Temperatures sitting anywhere from the mid to upper 20s for most, a few isolated spots in the lower 30s, dealing with some freezing rain or drizzle between Blanco and Johnson City. Along the I-35 corridor, we're also dealing with maybe a bit of light frozen precipitation in the Austin downtown area. Out at the airport, just below a light freeze at 31 degrees, 27 in Dripping Springs. And as you make your way up to Taylor, we're not getting a feedback for the radar, but it is below freezing. As we make our way to the coastal plains, pretty quiet for now, just above a light freeze in Lake Fayette at 34, 31 as you make your way to Lockhart. This radar has been pretty more widespread, especially west of I-35. Earlier this morning, we are going to slowly go into a bit of a lull period for the late afternoon into early evening hours. But unfortunately, we're going to see that pick up as we head into the overnight hours into Wednesday morning. That's when I think we'll have our nastiest conditions on the roadways here in Central Texas. This is all due to an area of low pressure developing with a trough that's out toward the west. This is helping to trudge in moisture, and this is why it looks like kind of a conveyor belt bringing in moisture all the way from the Pacific. And that's what's continuing to just bring what feels like endless freezing rain potential throughout the past several hours. Winter alerts. Let's take a look at this. The winter storm warning is impacting all of Central Texas, the entire KVUE viewing area. Fayette County was upgraded while you were sleeping overnight from a winter weather advisory to a winter storm warning. All of this is going to be in effect until 6 o'clock Thursday morning. So let's take a look at the futurecast. We'll start with the upper levels of the atmosphere so you can see what we're working with, and then we're going to kind of hone in back home in Central Texas to show you what it's going to look like. We have that area of low pressure and trough that builds in from the west. That's going to continue to act as that conveyor belt, bringing in moisture all the way through Thursday. Now for the back half of Thursday, that's when we start to see that transition from freezing rain to more of a cold rain, and then we'll replace it with an area of high pressure, which will bring back the sunshine and warmer temperatures. Honing in here into Central Texas, you can see that we will see that slight lull. It'll be very lightly scattered in nature. Could we have a few flurries mixed in there? Yes, but this is an ice event. This is not a snow event. Notice that as you go out to the coastal plains, we'll be dealing more of a cold rain overall. Overnight, we're talking late overnight, probably around like the midnight to 1 a.m. hours, we start to see widespread freezing rain, even east of I-35 possibly. This is where we could start to tally up a little bit more of that ice accumulation since they've been kind of on the lower end. I haven't seen as many reports. So we are going to be monitoring a more detailed look at your hour-by-hour play-by-play. Just a couple of minutes, Jenny.
So much. Right now, we want to take you out live to Governor Greg Abbott holding a news conference talking about the state's response to the ongoing winter weather.
The National Weather Service forecast a wintry mix, primarily freezing rain until Thursday in west, central, and north Texas, with sub-freezing temperatures expected throughout the week. Heavy rainfall and even flash flood potential is in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday in central, east, and southeast Texas. As it concerns the roads, as you might perceive, Driving conditions are extremely dangerous right now in many parts of the state of Texas. According to TxDOT, where you'll get a more detailed briefing momentarily, approximately 1,600 roads are impacted. TxDOT has used more than 1.3 million gallons of brine and other material to treat the roadways. There are about 2,100 pieces of equipment being used by TxDOT. Because of icing, many roads in Texas will remain very dangerous for the next 24 to 48 hours. Be cautious, especially for things like black ice, where you're driving down the roadway, you have no idea that what you're about to cross is ice. And if you hit your brakes on it, it can cause your car to completely lose control. Anybody who needs to be out driving needs to be very cautious of the conditions, because your eye may not be able to perceive the hazard that's in front of you. 18-wheelers in particular need to be extra vigilant. And you see the sign in front of me I want to call attention to. drivetexas.org is a website location that you can go to learn about weather conditions on roadways as well as road closures. As it concerns a power update, as of 9 o'clock this morning, there were approximately 7,000 power outages across the state. These outages are actively being addressed by local utilities, the utility that provides power to your home. The Public Utilities Commission expects to see some local outages as a result of icing of electric infrastructure and power lines. It's important to remember that local outages are not a reason to say that there is a problem with the power grid. The power grid is functioning just fine as we speak. If you experience an outage, please check with your local provider for updates. If you need help identifying your provider or finding their contact information, please visit the Public Utilities Commission website at puc.texas.gov/storm. Utilities deployed resources in advance of the event to address icing as issues arise. And once again, to emphasize, the power grid itself is functioning very effectively as we speak right now, and there is not anticipated to be any challenge to the power grid in the state of Texas. One thing that's important during times like this is for the public to be aware of warming centers. As of this morning, more than 60 warming centers have been opened by local officials across the state. These warming center locations can be found at tdem.texas.gov/warm. The public is also encouraged to call 211 and visit 211texas.org to monitor local media outlets for their closest warming center. As far as responders are concerned, there are a total number of 14 state agencies that are responding to this winter storm. There are almost 4,000 professionals who are working to respond to the storm, and more than 2,500 pieces of state equipment are being used to respond to the storm. The Texas National Guard, they are now operating 24/7 to assist in responding to the storm. They have 6 winter weather packages positioned across the state to assist stranded motorists, clear roadways of debris, and provide welfare checks to Texans. They have engaged at least 55 vehicles as well as 124 responders. And they've rostered helicopters to be able to deliver food and water as needed. The Texas Parks and Wildlife has at least 30 responders focusing on to be ready for search and rescue operations. Going back to the Public Utilities Commission, power outage monitoring and coordination with utility providers is an ongoing thing that they are doing. They have plenty of reserves and plenty of power. The Railroad Commission, you'll hear from Commissioner Christy Craddock about that here shortly. DPS, they're responding to many crashes across the state. Listen, there's a lot of vehicle accidents across the state because of the status of the roadways, and DPS is among the professionals responding to that. In closing these comments, there are many state and local government offices and schools throughout the state that are impacted in these areas that are currently closed. They may remain closed for the remainder of today and possibly tomorrow. Those decisions will be made at the local level. Texans should use extra caution on the roadway. And once again, visit drivetexas.org to check road conditions before you go out and travel. Texas can locate winter weather resources by visiting tdem.texas.gov and clicking the Winter Weather Resources button on the homepage. We appreciate everybody in their cooperation in the state of Texas to do everything you can to protect your own safety by making sure that you stay off the roadways and assist others as needed. At this time, I will pass to the Texas Department of Transportation.
Thank you, Governor. As the governor said, driving conditions around the state due to the weather that we're seeing are very dangerous. And we have had a period now of about 24 hours of significant icing that have caused these conditions. Not only are they dangerous,
and you have been listening to Governor Greg Abbott and other state officials explaining the state resources as we are experiencing our winter storm. Let me just go over some important numbers that Governor Abbott relayed to us just moments ago. Because of the icy conditions, 1,600 roads across the state have been impacted. 1.3 million gallons of brine have been used by TxDOT crews to treat our roadways so far, and there have been 7,000 power outages across the state. Governor Abbott said local utilities are dealing with these. He also stressed that just because there are power outages, it does not mean our power grid is not operating effectively. He made it a point to say that it is working just fine. Now, he also said there are 60+ warming centers across the state that are open. Call 211 for more information. 14 state agencies are responding to this. 4,000 professionals working right now to try to keep us safe. Texas National Guard now working 24 hours a day to help stranded motorists, to help clear roadways, and to make welfare checks if necessary. That means delivering food and water. He ended things, Governor Abbott, by saying to exercise great caution, which is what we've been hearing from state and local officials all morning long and as of last night as well. So we'll have much more on that story coming up on KVUE News at 5 and 6. Right now, we want to take it to Hannah.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jenny. Your time now is 11:31. You just think about the number of crashes that we've been seeing, and it's like it'll quiet down for a little bit, and then this number is just fluctuating, and it's far from over. I know that's grim, but it is a reality. We're going to be dealing with this for the next couple days, and things are changing quickly. I want to take a trip out to Round Rock right now. We are right off of Texas 45. We have quite a few closures there, and like I said, it's kind of what's happening is they'll get out there, they'll resalt the roads, they'll open them back up again, and then they'll close them again. So just a lot of things changing. Taking a look, just kind of a ghostly scene here. Not a single person inside. We had a person over here that just had their vehicle towed. And so they're kind of just opening it and closing it again. But let's go ahead and take another look across the viewing area. So there's Round Rock. But right now we still have this 130 toll road. And we're actually told that once again, it sounds like a police officer was involved in that significant crash earlier this morning. And that portion is still closed because of its serious injuries because of that incident there. Taking a look a little bit further south here to Onion Creek, we still have that 45 toll road heading out a little bit closed to Creedmoor. So once again, stay with us. A lot of updates happening, you guys, and we are going to keep you covered and keep you safe.
Well, time is 11:35 on your Tuesday, and we're continuing to monitor pretty widely scattered freezing rain and drizzle across the area. You can see on the satellite radar, we're still picking up on some very light activity along the I-35 corridor. But at this point, any activity is only going to deteriorate our driving conditions and any kind of travel impacts across the area. I think we're going to see a slight lull as we head into the afternoon and early evening before another round arrives later tonight. Temperatures still sitting at or below freezing area wide. You can even see maybe a little bit of light rain, cold rain, although down there in San Antonio at 33 degrees. Let's take a look at the ice accumulation forecast and your timing. The hill country will continue to see roadways conditions deteriorating throughout the day today. Slick travel is more than likely, with our worst weather conditions, as I mentioned, on tap for tonight and into tomorrow. Pockets up to 3/4 of an inch. In fact, we could have some isolated spots even higher than that. As we move on over to the I-35 corridor, we're talking more along the lines of 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch, with some isolated areas up to 3/4 of an inch. We'll stay below freezing all day today. And as we make our way over to the coastal plains, this is the reason why Fayette County got upgraded to that winter storm warning. We could see possible ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch. And that just means that we are going to have to be monitoring some of these impacts. We're talking cars coated when we're talking 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. But when we get a little bit higher than that, that's when we see more serious impacts. We're talking trees sagging or breaking, which could lead to more scattered power outages, more widespread in nature, which I think would be an area of concern for the hill country when we get over 1/2 an inch. I'll have a hourly breakdown of what you can expect and a look at that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Hannah, how are those roadways looking?
Thanks so much, my dear friend. We so appreciate that. You know, I had someone just message me a bit ago. They said, you know, I wish I would have gone to the grocery store before all of this happened, and I can't stress it enough. If you guys are new to this area, we are entering into February. Make sure you have enough water and food on hand. Make sure you are stocked up. You just never know when these kind of things can happen. And of course, Shane and our team tracks them the best they can, but this is going to last for several days and the roads are still dangerous out there. So right now we're taking a live look. We're kind of focusing, heading for Round Rock right now. A lot of closures popping up there. And it's really just been interesting to see kind of as these waves of that freezing rain come, the way the closures are impacting and changing by the minute. They'll get out there with the salt trucks. They open it back up. So stay with us. You might get out there and notice quite a few changes as you're trying to navigate through that. Once again, this exit ramp right here on I-35 heading northbound is closed, as well as portions of 45. So just kind of area wide. My goodness, at one point this morning we had close to 30 crashes we were tracking across the area. So it's fluctuated. The 130 toll road still closed because of that significant crash earlier where people were quite literally catapulted from their vehicle. So can't stress it enough, guys. Stay safe and stay with us. Things are changing.
All right, if your car is not in the garage right now, chances are the doors and windshield are covered in ice. Daniel Armbruster with AAA Texas joins us now to talk about the right way to de-ice your vehicle. And Daniel, thank you so much for joining us for KVUE News Midday.
Hey, good to see you, Jenny.
It's always good to see you. And so, Daniel, what is the #1 mistake drivers do trying to defrost windshields?
Well, sometimes, unfortunately, drivers in a hurry, maybe they use devices that might not work out so well for them, whether that's metal ice scrapers, torches with fire, throwing hot water on a windshield. All of those things can cause extensive damage to your windshield. And in today's modern vehicles, Jenny, there's more than just glass there. There's also sensors that are built in, and it can be very expensive to replace that.
Torches is a new one, Daniel. I have to admit, I've heard of the hot water, but torches with fire. So what is the right way to defrost windshields?
Well, you know, you can use a commercial glass de-icer spray. If you don't have that already, it's probably too late to run out to the automotive store. But you can make a home solution. That's just 1 part isopropyl rubbing alcohol and then 2 parts water. Add a little bit of dish soap in that, put it in a spray bottle, spray it on your windshield, and then use, again, a plastic or a rubber scraper to take that ice off your windshield. You also, of course, want to turn on your defroster and turn that all the way up as well. And, you know, give yourself a few extra minutes, maybe 15 minutes to do that. It does take a little bit of time. And of course, you want to be careful when you're walking around your vehicle as well, because the ground can be slippery.
What about, Daniel, the plastic bags over the rear view mirrors? We've heard that as a tip. Is that actually a good idea?
You can do that. You know, I don't know that it's going to work effectively if it blows off or whatnot. You can do that, but don't leave it on there when you drive, of course.
There you go, Daniel Armbruster. Oh, quickly, what sorts of calls has AAA been getting today?
Yeah, so most of the calls have been related to either incidents where members were involved in a crash and needed a tow, or maybe they spun off into the ditch. Also calls for dead batteries. The weather's very cold, and when you have cold weather like this, if your battery's over 3 years old, it's really susceptible to the cold weather, and this type of weather can just shorten the life of your battery.
I have to imagine tires too, that this cold weather is affecting our tires as well.
That's right. Yeah. So, when the weather gets colder like this, the air pressure in your tire decreases at a faster rate. You definitely, if you have to drive, you shouldn't be out driving unless it's an emergency. But if you do have to drive, you want good tires that are properly inflated so that you can maintain control of your vehicle.
All good advice. Daniel Armbruster with AAA Texas. Thank you so much for your time and the good tips. All right, we are continuing our team coverage on this chilly Tuesday morning with KVUE meteorologist Grace Thornton. She's live in our KVUE Storm Chaser near 130 and 71. Grace, what are you seeing?
At that reported crash of multiple 18-wheelers. We'll switch over to the dash cam. You can count at least 3, it might be hard for viewers to see, but at least 3 large 18-wheeler trucks. We're also counting 4 tow trucks. Now, it doesn't look like any of those tow trucks have been able to successfully pull anything out of the ditches just yet. This was also the same place where it was reported that a Travis County Sheriff officer was pinned in his car during this accident as well. It has been reported that he's been taken to the hospital. He does have injuries, and updates on those injuries will be coming as soon as they are available. That was Natalie Haddad here at KVUE who tweeted that out, so I'm sure she'll have some more information in a little while. But we're just continuing to kind of sit here, monitor this situation. It's an ongoing response. Hopefully they can get things, kind of squared away in the next couple of minutes here, maybe couple of hours. It might take a long time. It's really touch and go out here. I can't stress enough that we have just continued to see people swerving off the road, crashing into each other. It's kind of a mess out here. And it's gonna continue to get worse, as Shane was saying.
As Shane told us earlier, the worst is yet to come. And that scene that you showed us, Grace, is exactly what we are trying to avoid. So please, if you have to be out in the roadways, we know we are saying it so much because that's how important it is. Lives matter. And you can keep track of the weather and receive alerts straight to your phone through our KVUE News app. All you have to do is download it. It's free. Stick with KVUE on air for the latest updates. We'll be right back.
Migraine hits hard, so you hit back with Ubrelvy. You put it all on the line. One dose of Ubrelvy quickly stops migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness.
Ask about Ubrelvy, the anytime, anywhere migraine medicine.
I don't go for tiny checks. I fight for the big money. A client of mine broke multiple bones in a car wreck and needed surgery. I got them $231,487.88. I'm on top of it.
Guys, are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we now have a major medical breakthrough. Our WAVE technology is clinically shown to open up and repair blood vessels, treating the root cause of ED. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us now and you'll get the ultrasound and assessment totally free. Also, a gift that can produce rapid results in the bedroom in minutes. You're gonna love that one. And today, Tuesday only, tune-up treatments are included. This means that if you notice results fading in the future, we'll treat you free of charge, and that's good for calls today, Tuesday only. Guys, it's time to get your love life back.
Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction. Call today, Tuesday, January 31st, and you'll qualify for the exam, assessment, ultrasound, and special gift free, plus 5 tune-up treatments at no charge. This $800 value is free to those who call today only, January 31st. Call Valleyside Medical Clinic at 512-991-4000. This offer ends today.
Am I getting old? My pipes are leaking and my water pressure, well, it isn't what it used to be.
Sounds like you might need to get your pipes replaced.
All at once? That sounds major.
Doesn't have to be. My owner's hired repipe specialists. They usually do the job in a day or two at about half the price of what plumbers usually charge.
And your leaks and water pressure?
Good as new.
There come my owners now.
Quick, slip this card in your mailbox.
Call Repipe Specialists for a free consultation today.
7-Day Forecast sponsored by Subaru of Georgetown. Exceptional value and the Subaru of Georgetown difference. Free dent and interior protection, windshield repair, and loaner cars.
Welcome back to KVUE News Midday. 11:45 is your time, and we are continuing our team coverage here on Midday. Let's go out to KVUE's Dominique Newland live in North Austin. Dominique, you've been all over Central Texas this morning. How do things compare right now to earlier today?
Jenny, I'll say right now, I haven't had to put my hood up all morning, and I just did before stepping to talk to you. So that rain is starting to pick up a lot more than what I've seen throughout the morning, which means these roadways, we are right off of North Mopac. They're starting to get slick. They already were, but it's going to become a little bit more. That's going to be the case we're going to see throughout the afternoon. Right now, happy to report that traffic is light. That's what we do like to see, less cars out on these roadways, as these conditions, from what we've reported all throughout the morning, they've been dangerous. We've been seeing a lot of accidents out here, even just right here off of North Mopac. Portions of Mopac being closed off throughout the morning due to how icy the roads have been, and also just the accidents that have occurred. So very important to stay off. What we've seen firsthand just driving through here to get to this location in particular, it's been a little icy. So just to stay safe, give yourself a lot of time if you need to plan to be out here later today to get to yourself from point A to point B, especially on these overpasses behind me, as those are always the first to freeze. So really just stay safe. Keep a lot of time if you need to go from point A to point B again. But what we've been seeing, this rain is starting to fall, and we're going to see that, of course, going to the next few days as well. So stay warm.
That's right. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Dominique, thank you for that, and please be safe. Go back in the car and warm up there. Now, firefighters say a space heater is to blame for 2 fires in central East Austin. First fire happened in the garage of a home on Colfax Drive. That's in a neighborhood near Walter Long Park. The fire was put out before it spread to the rest of the home. Firefighters say the space heater was just too close to flammable objects. The second fire happened near a home near Loyola Lane and Johnny Morris Road. That's in East Austin. The fire killed several chicken in a coop. 4 people were displaced as well as a result of this fire. Well, families without heat but with power can use space heaters to stay warm, but please be careful because they can easily start fires, as we just heard in that one story. Remember to never leave a space heater unattended and turn them off if you're leaving the room or going to sleep. Keep a space heater 3 feet away from anything that can burn, like paper, clothing, and rugs. And don't leave them on high traffic areas and doorways where someone can trip them over. But if your power goes out, we have tips on how to stay warm. Close off any rooms you're not using. That way you don't waste heat. Also, keep your blinds and curtains shut to keep the heat in. Stuff towels under doors so that will keep the cold drafts out as well. And dress in layers of lightweight, warm clothes. All things that I want to do right now and my power is on.
I know, right? This kind of weather just makes you want to just bundle up, stay indoors. This is like a movie weather if you do have power.
Power up, bundle up with all the blankets is what I'm thinking.
I know, right? We're almost there, but we have to make it through probably the stickiest portion of the forecast, and that's going to arrive later this evening into the overnight hours. As Dominique was mentioning, we are seeing that activity pick up along the I-35 corridor. This is a look at the radar loop over the past several hours. This is the satellite radar loop. Now let me put the temperatures on there and then change over to the Doppler radar. Now the satellite is picking up on some higher level activity. The Doppler radar picking up stuff that's more likely to be reaching the Earth's surface. And you can see there's a small difference, but we are starting to see some of those heavier pourings of freezing rain and drizzle along the I-35 corridor that we were mentioning. Temperatures have now warmed above freezing in San Marcos. They were 33 degrees. They were just above it earlier in the show, but now up to 34. Now above freezing in LaGrange at 33, but still below freezing area-wide other than that. As we zoom in toward Travis County, this is where you can see that activity picking up around the I-35 corridor, making its way toward 183 and Mopac. So these are just the least ideal conditions for traveling today. So please make sure you are mindful and staying off the roads if you absolutely can. Let's take a look across the country. You can see this conveyor belt of moisture basically moving in all the way from the Pacific. We also have a little bit of moisture that's streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico towards the surface of the Earth, but in the upper levels, that's what we're dealing with. We're seeing it being trudged in all the way due to an upper level trough that's going to eventually start shifting out further to the east over the next couple of days. In regards to our alerts, you'll see all of the KVUE viewing area under that winter storm warning that will be in effect until 6 o'clock Thursday morning. That trough, as I mentioned, is going to move in from the west, slowly push out towards the east, continuing to trudge in that moisture. That's why we'll see multiple rounds of rain, whether that be in the form of cold rain, which is mostly expected out east, freezing rain, or freezing drizzle. You can see that that's probably most likely going to be along the lines of the I-35 corridor and hill country. We'll have an area of high pressure built in behind that trough, and that's going to bring back the sunshine and warmer conditions for Central Texans. Let's take a closer look here at home. You can see that around 5 o'clock, we'll see a bit of a lull. It'll be very lightly scattered in nature. Could we have a few snowflakes or flurries blended in there? Yes, but this is an ice event we're talking about here, folks, okay? As we head into the overnight period, this is around 1, 2, maybe even 3 o'clock in the morning, we see that freezing rain grow a little bit more widespread. I'm still thinking it would be very much a cold rain as you make your way out towards the coastal plains. We could see maybe up to a tenth of accumulation out there. Then it continues to stay more scattered to widely scattered and widespread in fashion for the early morning commute if you have to be on the roads tomorrow. But I definitely think our travel conditions will be at their worst tomorrow morning. Come Wednesday afternoon, we'll see some additional hill country coverage from that wintry precipitation, but then mostly a cold rain out east. Then we should start to see more of a transition by Thursday around 6 o'clock in the morning to a cold rain as conditions overall clear from west to east. In regards to ice accumulation, when all is said and done, we should get up to anywhere from 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch for the hill country. Isolated pockets could make it up to 3/4 of an inch. We're talking lower totals as you make your way out towards the east, the I-35 corridor up to 1/2 inch, and then we're talking maybe up to 1/10 of an inch in the coastal plains. Today, expect temperatures to peak around the freezing mark at Camp Mabry, even colder in the hill country, maybe making it into the mid-30s as you make your way toward the south. Overnight, you'll want to continue to keep yourself, your other people, your pets, your plants, and your pipes safe as we're talking a widespread light freeze along with some patchy fog that's expected. Those temperatures are going to be on the incline though as we make our way into Friday. I see us back into the upper 50s. We enter into the weekend and we'll see the return of the 60s. Just hold on till Friday to get that sunshine, folks. We're talking upper 50s by that point. We'll eventually be flirting close to 70 degrees by the end of the weekend into the beginning of next week. Hannah, any updates on those roadways?
Let's take a look. Thanks so much, Shane. What a morning it's been. Your time now is 11:52, and to think today is actually the last day of January. It's not even officially February yet, but it's just a reminder. It's that time of year. You need to be thinking a few steps ahead, and you need to be thinking about each other. Let's lean on each other and take care of each other. Right now, we're taking a live look. If you look at the center of the screen, it's actually not too far from where Grace showed us that significant crash off of 130 earlier. Look at those 18-wheelers just uprooted there, and several of them involved. And that is not too far from also where that officer got pinned earlier. Several other people also were injured in the same crash. So taking a look now, it's quieting down just a little bit, but that's what's been happening. It kind of just fluctuates throughout the day. So let's take a look exactly where I was talking about that closure, which is because of that crash that I just showed you there on the 130 toll road there heading northbound. And then once again, Texas 45 heading into Round Rock. We've got several closures here, and it's really the overpasses and then just the entry and exit ramps that are having all of these accidents, kind of causing that ripple effect. Taking a look here, we also have that 290 toll road closed because of a major crash that happened there as well. Heading down further south, not too far from Onion Creek, we also have that 45 toll road that is still closed this morning. So that's the thing, is like some of these crashes, kind of depending how significant they are, that is what's going to impact how long the road is closed for and if they can get it salted again into the night. If you do end up in a situation, just a reminder, please slow down, ease off your brake. You need to briefly kind of lean into that steer, and then you need to try to correct it and go the other way and straighten the vehicle. Stay safe, Central Texas. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you, Hannah. And we're taking a last live look from our KVUE storm chaser. Another reminder to avoid getting on the roadways if at all possible. We've showed you all hour long why it's so dangerous. So thank you so much for joining us here on KVUE News. We hope you have a safe and warm day.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
For 35 years, KVUE's shown you the inspirational stories of the people who are making a difference in Austin. The 5 Who Care Award honors those who give their time and service to others. Tell us who we should recognize this year. Nominate them, young or old, for a 5 Who Care Award at KVUE.com/5WhoCare.
Henna Chevrolet and ABC Home and Commercial Services are proud to sponsor 5 Who Care, celebrating those who make Austin better for 35 years.
For 35 years, KVUE's shown you the inspirational stories of the people who are making a difference in Austin. The 5 Who Care Award honors those who give their time and service to others. Tell us who we should recognize this year. Nominate them, young or old, for a 5 Who Care Award at KVUE.com/5WhoCare.
Henna Chevrolet and ABC Home and Commercial Services are proud to sponsor 5 Who Care, celebrating those who make Austin better for 35 years.
Oh yeah, it's Globetrotter game time. Get ready for the Harlem Globetrotters 2023 World Tour. Presented by Jersey Mike Subs. All new, non-stop action, amazing basketball skills, 4-point shots, high-flying dunks, and more. Get tickets for the whole family, where you can be part of the action. Playing HEB Center at Cedar Park and Moody Center, February 5th and 10th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com/ATX.
If you've been hurt and it's not your fault, put us to work. Give us a call at Funkin' Associates. Funkin' Associates in Austin. You have nothing to be worried about. We'll handle it all right here in Austin. Do the research, ask around, call Funkin' Associates right now. 472-FUNK.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Know the weather before you step out the door. Download the KVUE app, the latest forecast at your fingertips.
Roof leaking? Need a new roof? Call Jaycon at 512-479-0510. Roofing at its best with quality and pride since 1979. Jaycon Roofing, 512-479-0510.
All you have to do is point. Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
In 2020 alone, there were nearly 150,000 crashes involving large trucks and buses in the U.S. Accidents with 18-wheelers can be catastrophic for drivers. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Call today. Thomas J. Henry is available 24/7, nights and weekends.
Here is CVS Health, where a woman's heart health isn't an afterthought. It's celebrated. Get a free heart health screening at Minute Clinic. Here, healthier happens together.
Hi, I'm Luke Hawthorne. Back in 2006, Mary and I started Emerald Lawns.
A two-person company with only one truck.
Today, Emerald Lawns proudly serves thousands of customers, promptly, efficiently, and courteously.
Because we know a healthy green lawn is important to your family.
Free estimates, no contracts, and guaranteed work. With Emerald Lawns,
the grass really is greener.
This is a paid advertisement for legal services.
I was injured in a car accident, so I called Wayne Wright.
Getting you the most money possible.
Ready to take your call 24/7.
Don't wait. Call 8. Respect. Justice. Demand it. Wainwright Injury Lawyers.
All you have to do is point. Yes!
1-800-GOT-JUNK can make it disappear.
And that's why they all start dancing.
Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Roof leaking? Need a new roof? Call J-Con at 512-479-0510. Roofing at its best with quality and pride since 1979. J-Con Roofing, 512-479-0510.
Severe weather in your neighborhood? Safely shows Central Texas what you're seeing. Text your severe weather pics and video straight